Alright, you guys, I just wanted to upload a tutorial for the Chapter 1 project, Can You Model? So in Chapter 1, we're talking about atoms, we're talking about molecules, we're talking about chemical compounds. So we've all seen the little ball stick model. Some of you may have bought them before, where you can take the little different color balls and attach the little toothpicks or whatever sticks to them and model water, model H2O, model CO2, model NH3. Well, this project is very, very similar because you're going to actually produce your own model kit. So this is very important for me to specify. When I say produce your own model kit, mean you cannot present a model kit that you purchase out of the teacher store. You cannot present a model kit that you purchase from Amazon. You have to make it from home with stuff that you have in your cabinets from the grocery store. Not expensive stuff, but stuff that you can use your imagination and show to me that you understand the idea of atoms and valence electrons and all those things. So your goal is to create a model kit that has the necessary components to model several different components when presenting the class. So the thing about it is you're not going to know which compound I tell you to model. You may come up and I may ask you to model water. I may ask you to model table salt. I may ask you to model ammonia. I'll give you the chemical formula, and we would have talked about these things in class. I'm not going to throw anything, new on you, but you don't know which one you're going to be asked to show. So you have to be prepared for all of them, and I'll give you a list of the ones that you're going to have to be able to build when the project comes out. So you're going to make a model kit. So you need to select things that are able to represent atoms of different elements. The basic building block when it comes down to matter generally is the atom, and each element has their own atom. There are hydrogen atoms, carbon atoms, nitrogen atoms. You need to, in your kit, have something that represents the hydrogen, something that represents the oxygen, something that represents the nitrogens. You also need to indicate the correct number of valence electrons. So if carbon has 4 valence electrons, then whatever your carbon is, whether it's a gumdrop or whether it's a marshmallow, I should see 4 little dots or 4 little raisins or 4 little whatever that shows me that carbon has 4 valence electrons. Same thing with hydrogen, same thing with oxygen. You need to know for each element how many valence electrons they have, and you need to show me using either a marker or a jelly bean or a grain of rice how those things are modeled, and show me that you understand those things. You need to be able to indicate the number of bonds each atom forms. So if I give you a molecule or a compound that has a double bond, you need to be able to build it within 2 minutes and show me that it has a double bond. Okay, if I give you something that has a triple bond, you need to be able to build it within 2 minutes with that triple bond. So if you're using toothpicks for your bonds, I should see 3 toothpicks in between those ends for N2 or whatever it is that I asked you to build. And then you should be able to identify which compounds are ionic and which compounds are covalent, which compounds are going to transfer electrons and which to make ions, and which compounds are going to share electrons and become more polar. So we know that water is a polar molecule, whereas table salt, NaCl, is an ionic molecule. But you need to know those by memory, because when I ask you to build them, you won't be able to search through your textbook. So you will be able to have a key with you. Okay, so your key tells you that orange gumdrops are oxygen, and the white marshmallows are nitrogen, and the I don't know, pink marshmallows or whatever. Okay, so your key should be able to identify the represented elements. I'll ask you to build for me 2 ionic compounds and then 2 molecular compounds. You're going to be graded 15 points for each compound. 1, I need to see the valence electrons for every single atom, every single element that you use. I need to see the correct bond for every molecule you build, and then you need to have the correct number of atoms. So if I ask you to build for me water, we know water is H2O. That's 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. If you have 2 oxygens and 1 hydrogen, you're going to get the number of atoms wrong. If your oxygen and hydrogens don't have any dots or rice or raisins or nothing on them to tell me how many electrons they have, you're going to get those 5 points wrong. If you're telling me that water is an ionic compound and not a molecular compound, then you're going to get that bond wrong. So you kind of want to use the rubric as your guide, and make sure you do it on time to kind of know, okay, this is what I need to have in my kit, and I need to have my key that I can use to kind of guide me as I put these things together. So I hope that helps. I did list a bunch of materials that you can use, so review that list. You don't have to use marshmallows, you don't have to use gumdrops, you don't even have to use toothpicks if you don't want to, but use that list to build on. But I will reiterate, commercial ball and stick model kits are not going to be accepted. You can try to come in there if you want to, but you're going to be upset when you have a 0 out of 100 that's going in as a test grade because you didn't follow directions. So make sure you do what you're supposed to do. It'll be fun. And while you're doing your project, go ahead and invite your parents to come and help, or explain to them how you're going to be explaining to me when you finally do present, just so you can get some practice. Other than that, if you have any questions, let me know. Send me an email. You can use the site, or you can email me directly. Either way, look forward to seeing from you. To your success. See you later.